Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So we got to talk about the Sacramento Kings because they absolutely beat the fucking brakes off the Indiana Pacers last night. And I just thought I'd talk about this team because they're pretty impressive, if I'm being honest. And there's something very uncharacteristic about this team, being that they're good at offense, but bad at defense, and it's shocking because Mike Brown was a defensive coach for the Golden State Warriors, and they're really an interesting team to watch. If you would have told me when Mike Brown became the head coach of the Sacramento Kings that they would be running Stephen Curry plays for DeAaron Fox, I would have told you you were absolutely out of your fucking mind. But that's what's going on. DeAaron Fox is getting Steph Curry-like plays, and it's obvious that Mike Brown's experience being with the Golden State Warriors for as long as they have has really benefited him as a head coach because, back in the day, Mike Brown's teams really sucked at offense and were really good at defense. Now it seems like they're really good at offense and really shit at defense, but I can't so much blame that on the head coach because they don't really have any super crazy defensive stoppers on their team. Like, they have Davion Mitchell, who's a pretty good defensive player, but a lot of these guys, when it comes to defense, are really just not that good. I mean, they've only got two guys on their team, or actually three, that actually average one steal a game, and when it comes to blocks, they have nobody on their team that averages one block a game. I mean, Sabonis averages 0.5 blocks a game, and he's right now their second best player. But I will say this, this team is playing way better than I think we all expected, right? Like, I expected Sacramento to be a play-in team. That was what I expected of them. I said that in my rankings video. I actually think I had them ahead of the Lakers, which, pat on the back for that because I was right about that. But when it comes to just scoring, this team is very good. They're great at the fast break. Right now, they're scoring the second most points of any team in the NBA at 119.9 points per game. But they're 26th in opponents' points per game, meaning they're giving up just about as many points as they score at 117.2 a game. So if they could shore up the defensive side of the ball a little bit, I think this team would be a little bit better. But if we're going just based off of last night's game, I really think that the Sacramento Kings are right now a better team than the Indiana Pacers on paper. They have DeAaron Fox, they have Sabonis. They have a more complete roster. They have better shooting than the Pacers do. They have a better offense than the Pacers do. But I will say this, in the next couple years, I expect the Pacers to be better than the Sacramento Kings are right now. I don't know how much that's really saying, but I just expect Tyrese Haliburton and Benedict Mathurin to continue to improve. Same with Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith really popped off in the second half last night. I didn't watch the second half because by the halftime mark, I think the score was like 48-62, so I was like, okay, Sacramento's probably going to win this. But the Sacramento Kings are third in pace, and I really like what's been done with this roster. Malik Monk is arguably in the sixth man of the year conversation. I mean, getting Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk was huge for this team. Right now, Malik Monk is shooting 48% from the field and 36% from three. Kevin Huerter is shooting 48% from the field and 45% from three. And shout out to DeAaron Fox, man, because DeAaron Fox is shooting 52% from the field over 19 games and 38% from three, and a very nice change of 82% from the free throw line, which is a career high for him. And what a lot of people don't know is when Mike Brown went to Sacramento, he also brought a shooting coach from the Golden State Warriors with him, and you can tell that he's been working with DeAaron Fox a lot. I think during the Pacers game last night, they said that the shooting coach has been running Stephen Curry drills with DeAaron Fox in practice. Like, he had to make 10 consecutive free throws before he could leave for the day after practice, and you can tell it's paying off because he's shooting a career high from the free throw line. So I expect DeAaron Fox to continue to improve. He's only 25, and I just like the idea that they're working on players like the weakest aspects of their game, right? Like, DeAaron Fox was not a good shooter. I think we can all say that before this season. Like, he wasn't horrendous, but it wasn't anything to be proud of either. Like, he was like, if we look at his career stats, I mean, he was in the 70, like in the 70s, low 70s before this season, right? Last season, he shot 75% from the free throw line. And before that, he shot 71%. Now he's shooting 82%. So that's a really big jump. Obviously, it's only resulting in one more point per game for him, which sucks. But, I don't think it really does it any justice. Right now he's averaging 24 a game. Last year, I think people don't give him enough credit really for how much improvement DeAaron Fox has made shooting-wise. I mean, last year, DeAaron Fox shot 29% from the three-point line, okay? And he's a career 32% three-point shooter. I mean, 29% last year, 32% the year before, 29% the year before that, 37% in his second year, which is pretty good, and 30% in his first year. For him to be shooting a career high in both three-point percentage and in free throw percentage shows that he's really taken a leap forward. Same thing with his field goal percentage, man. I mean, 52.6% from the field is very, very good for a guy that I think we all kind of wrote off as a shooter. For a while now, DeAaron Fox has been known as a guy who is just an attack the basket guy, and he's obviously made it now where teams have to respect his jump shot, right? We're 19 games in, obviously, so this could obviously, it's going to go down over the season, but as the season goes on, but we're already, more than a quarter of the way through the season, right? And he's shooting very well. And another guy I would really like to talk about here, a guy who's looked a lot better this year too, is Domantas Sabonis. I mean, Sabonis is right now shooting 29% from three, which obviously isn't great. He's never been a great shooter, but they're utilizing Domantas Sabonis in a Draymond Green type of role where he's bringing the ball down the court, he's getting guys involved, he's passing. I mean, when it comes to assists, he's not at his career high, but he's close to it. His career high in assists is 6.7 a game. He's averaging basically 6.5 at 6.4. 11 boards a game, 16.7 points per game. Right now, he's shooting 62% from the field on 2-point field goals, which is pretty good. The 3-point percentage is obviously not going to be great. It's not something I expect him to improve on drastically soon, but he is only 26 years old. And I'm just going to say this. If that shooting coach could turn DeAaron Fox into an efficient shooter, I believe he can turn Domantas Sabonis into a shooter. Domantas Sabonis' dad was actually pretty good at shooting threes, Arvydas Sabonis. So I believe that he can turn Sabonis into a decent three-point shooter. And when it just comes to field goal percentage as a whole, I mean, 58.5% from the field is not bad. His career high is 59%. So this is so far right now his second best season of his career, basically, field goal percentage wise. But I really like what they're doing with Sabonis, man. They're getting him more involved. There's a lot of pick and roll action between him and DeAaron Fox, as there always has been. I look to see a little more out of Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray was a guy that I was really expecting to be in the Rookie of the Year conversation, but 39% from the field, 31% from three is just not getting it done. He needs to perform better. Kevin Huerter's actually shooting very well, but when it comes to the free throw shooting, he's just shooting abysmal. 68% from the free throw line for a guy who's shooting 45% from three and 48% from the field is not great. I'd like to see an improvement in that. But Malik Monk has looked very good for this team. And I also, at this point, I'm not of the camp that the team's going to trade Harrison Barnes. I just don't believe it. Mostly because I think Harrison Barnes only has this year left on his contract. I'm willing to bet they let Harrison Barnes walk in free agency, and then move Keegan Murray into his starting spot to give Keegan Murray a little more exposure. Or they could bring him back on another deal if he wants to stay with the team. I don't know, but Harrison Barnes is not shooting the three well. He's shooting 28% from three, but he's shooting 86% from the free throw line. So we know he has a jump shot. It's just, he's a career, 36% free throw or three-point shooter or something like that. He is 37% for his career. So, and every year for the past couple of years, he's shot about 39% from three. So 28% is very uncharacteristic for Harrison Barnes. But this team as a whole, man, if they can just play better defense, they would be even a higher seed. And that's what I think is the most shocking point about this, because I think this team is only going to continue to get better as the season goes on. The same thing with the Pacers, right? Like, Benedict Matherin's going to continue to get better. Keegan Murray's going to continue to get better. The team's going to buy into defense a little more because Mike Brown's going to make them. But the idea that Mike Brown has taken care of this offense the way he has so far has been very shocking, because I expected Sacramento to be better, right? But I didn't expect them to be this much better, where they're literally just running teams off the fucking floor. I mean, if you watched them play the Pacers last night, they were running Indiana out of the gym. Like, I was watching Malik Monk catch lobs on the fast break, all right? That's what they were doing to the Pacers last night. And if they can just shore up this defense, man, I mean, they're averaging, like I said, they're allowing teams to score 117.2 points per game, which is good for 26th out of 30 teams in the NBA. They need to get better at that. If they get better at that and stop allowing points in the paint, because right now points in the paint is really killing this team. They really need a big man, or at least somebody that's going to lock down the paint, or maybe start playing a collapsing type of defense. I don't know. That's what they did against the Pacers last night, and it worked. They forced Indiana to beat them with threes last night, and they beat the brakes off of Indiana. So if they play more of that collapsing defense, because obviously opponent points in the game is their biggest hole on defense, and they can just shore up the center of the court and stop letting teams beat them around the basket, this is a team that's going to get very good very quickly. Right now, they are currently ranked 5th in the NBA at assists per game, 9th in points per game in the paint. Right now, they're 4th in fast break points a game. Their average scoring margin is plus 2.7, which is good for 6th in the NBA. And when it comes to the percentages on offense, man, they're pretty much top 10 in almost everything. I mean, effective field goal percentage, they're 3rd in the league. Free throws attempted a game, they're 7th. Free throw percentage, they're 11th. 3-point percentage, they're 11th. 2-point percentage, they're actually 1st. They are 1st in the league at getting points around the basket, which is very good. Shooting percentage, they're 4th in the league. Shooting efficiency, they're 2nd in the league. Field goals made a game, 5th. Field goals attempted a game, 17th. Obviously 17th isn't great, but that's an efficient 87 shots a game they're taking. If you're only shooting 87 shots a game and you're 17th in field goals attempted, but you're 2nd in the NBA in shooting efficiency and 4th in shooting percentage, yeah, you can live with only 87 shots a game if you're making them, right? In 3 points attempted a game, they're 6th. In 3-pointers made a game, they're 5th. So they're getting to the free throw attempts a game, 19. Free throws made a game, 3rd. So they're in there. Free throws attempted a game, they're 7th, and free throws made a game, they're 3rd. So offensively, this team's a fucking powerhouse, man. I'm gonna call it what it is. Like, they're not bad. They're borderline top 10 in fucking everything except for free throws attempted per game and their 3-point percentage and their free throw percentage, which are both 11th. So this team could get scurry really quick, okay? And when it comes to just the defensive side of the ball, they're a fucking liability. I'm just going to call it what it is. They really need help on defense. They need to start buying into defense, especially Sabonis, Fox, Malik Monk. Like, I get it. These are guys that have never been really defensive stoppers, but they're finally being asked to play defense for the first time in their lives. And last night against the Pacers, they fucking did it. Okay? Like, there was a lid on the basket from 3. Yes, Jalen Smith got hot in the second half, but if you can play games like that every night where it's like, yeah, let one guy fucking beat you, because one guy's not going to be able to beat you, right? If you're a team that can come out, collapse the paint, force teams to shoot against you to win, you can win games, because honestly, if we look at their defense, right, they're 29th in opponent effective field goal percentage. They are 28th in opponent 3-point percentage. They are 27th in opponent free throw percentage. Their opponent 2-point percentage is 20th. Their opponent shooting percentage is 29th. Their ranks for opponent, for their defense, their ranks versus opponents are just really, really fucking bad. They don't allow teams to shoot a lot of 3-pointers against them a game. Granted, they're 4th in the NBA on opponent 3-pointers attempted a game, but when it comes to opponent 3-point field goals, 3-point field goal percentage, they're 28th. So opponent 3-point percentage is 37.9, which is ranked 28th out of 30 teams in the league. So they're not allowing a lot of threes, but the threes they are allowing are going in. So yeah, you know what, man? This is a team that I think is going to continue to improve. Rebounding, believe it or not, an opponent offensive rebounds a game, they're only allowing teams to get 8 offensive rebounds a game, which is ranked first in the NBA. And when it comes to defensive rebounds, they're allowing teams to grab 33.7, which is good for 7th. Actually, wait, no, hold on. I read that wrong. My fault. Opponent defensive rebounds a game, they're allowing 32.5, which is ranked 11th. So rebounding, they're really not that bad at when it comes to defense, but offensively, they need to get more offensive rebounds. They're at the bottom of the league in that, and it doesn't have to be a lot, maybe 1 or 2 more a game. You know, I'm just saying. Blocks, they're basically dead last. I mean, they don't get a lot of blocks. They're 29th and 30th in blocks per game. I mean, blocks a game, they're 29th at 3.3. Their block percentage is 3.7%, which is good for dead last in the league. So, yeah, you know what, man? Turnovers a game. If they could just, there's a lot of shit this team needs to work out on defense, but if they can stop turning the ball over, maybe block a couple shots, make teams shoot in order to beat them. You know, like if they could collapse the paint, because right now they're getting killed in the paint. This is a team that could be pretty serious. And I really like what they're doing. I like the system that Mike Brown has going on here because this team has a little bit of everything, man. Like, they've got Sabonis, they got Kevin Huerter, DeAaron Fox, Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes, Malik Monk, Davion Mitchell's running point for the bench unit, it seems. Chimezie Metu has been a very, very nice addition to their team. Like, last night, he was an offensive rebounding machine. Chimezie Metu is a guy that I'd like to see get more minutes. He's a guy that I really, really like. I kind of wish the Pacers would have traded for Chimezie Metu before they traded for Jalen Smith, but you know, I'll take Jalen Smith. They're kind of similar players in a way, but I just think Chimezie Metu is more of a round the basket guy and Jalen Smith is more of a shooter type of guy. But yeah, I like the direction this team is trending in, and you know, last night they beat the Pacers, and all it's going to take is this team to shore up their defense, and I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen maybe by around the All-Star break, but this team is getting better, and they're getting really, really fucking good. So, anyway, tell me what you guys think about this video down below in the comment section below. I know it's a longer video, we're working on 17 minutes here, but this team's looking pretty good, man. I'm just going to call it what it is. If not this year, their future's definitely bright. With or without Tyrese Halliburton, because I know a lot of people were a little besides themselves when they saw the Tyrese Halliburton for Sabonis trade, but let's be honest, it's working out for both teams. And it was even me, I was like, how the fuck did we get Tyrese Halliburton? Like, I did not think we were going to get Tyrese Halliburton. I thought we were going to get DeAaron Fox, but either way, this worked out for both teams. So I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see, but I think Sacramento's going to continue to get better, and I think Indiana as well is going to continue to get better as time goes on. Maybe not this year, but next year, depending on what moves they make in the offseason. Same thing with Sacramento, but these are both two teams that are trending upward, and I really, really like what Mike Brown has done for the Sacramento Kings. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. Helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.